Are they dead? That is a salve. Thank you. All of you.
It can make you stronger, but you never have to like it. Don't forget that.
Let's go, Nameho. We need to be with them now.
If Shatterscarp is like this now, well, we should get going too.
Give me the news. I just want this sordid story over with. Any real soldier would know the worst crime against his brothers in arms is desertion. He should have stayed with them to the end. I'll make sure these badges are given to the surviving families.
My dear envoy, just the sight of you recalls fond memories of more civilized days. Oh, it's nothing so grand as your capital city and its glittering port. Even this outpost's lighthouse, fair though she is, would reach only the knee of Wodaka's statue in High Crown.
If he loves the Empire so much, perhaps he should go live there.
How I miss the sight of your strapping tall-grass pikemen on parade. Me? Oh, no, envoy, you flatter me. I had a chance once, but no. I am Ngunu, beleaguered captain of an incorrigibly roustabout crew. Dear Tawe, Koa, Ranga, they saw Adir with me, then abandoned me here. Oh, I miss them terribly.
Maybe the barkeep should cut him off.
I am drunk on memory only, and perhaps some regret. I only wish I could invite my crew to my table, to share one last drink and part as friends. Those are old wounds, Envoy. Old wounds. Better not to reopen them. Not unless you want to see me weep. So you do.
We followed him through some rough seas, and we're not ready to mutiny. Yet.
I envy you, my friend. You would do that? Venture out into the wastes to look for them? You negotiate for the Emperor himself. If anyone could convince Taue, Koa, and Ranga to share one last drink with me, it's you. Just to the northeast, living by an oasis in the Sand Sea. No fence, no walls, no roof, exposed to the world. But that's our Taue. Nothing ever troubled him that the stars couldn't fix. Deathly serious, Koa was, about every little thing. Fled to the shark's teeth with a few others when the plague came. He always had a fragile soul. She's a scholar of munitions, happier in the hold with gunpowder than out beneath the sky. I expect she's still holed up in the mine outside of town, polishing her arms. Of course, you have been more than generous with your time as it is. Oathbinder guide you in the Emperor's work, Envoy, and in all your labors to come.
We've only heard one side of the story. His crew went their separate ways for a reason. Did you see the skeleton by the entrance? I want one.
Over here, dearie. Ah, there you are. It's rather rude of you to keep a lady waiting. I'll forgive you, though. It gave me a chance to dip into my notes about the Circle of Archmagi. One does not simply waltz into an Archmage's domain unprepared. Tell me, dearie, how much do you know about Ringrim? Oh, lovely. Then you know what we're up against. Oh, her spells are legendary. The Circle of Archmagi are the most powerful magical beings in Eora. Whatever the reason, the fact that she's here at all is significant. Oh, Aldra's titties. The Circle sent the Archmage of Terror. Oh, she's just brilliant. What's not to admire? There's no one in all of Eora like her. And she's come all this way to Nakukubel. But I've no idea why an illusionist would care for godless artifacts. Yours truly, excluded, of course. There must be something in there of interest to Ringrim. Probably something powerful. I knew I liked you, darling. I'll be with you every step of the way. Those Steel Garrote bastards stole all my research about the Godless. They'll get to the garden first over their dead bodies. I can show you the way to Ringrim's domain, but we should travel lean. The less of us there are, the less likely she'll take notice. You'll need me to get you in the door, so who's staying behind?
Naturally. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do. Really, though, that would be dangerous. We'll catch up later, Yatzli. Take care of the envoy for me.
Perfect. Oh, this is going to be fun. I once climbed that Leviathan skeleton, you know. I wasn't allowed back in town for a while after that.
Don't forget your friend Keipo and his completely legal package that you said you'd pick up.
Godlike! Over here! Godlike! Winds above! You're really here! I knew I had to find you as soon as I heard you were in Thirdborn.
Chico? When did you get so tall? I almost didn't recognize you.
Kai! You're here too? Now I know Thirdborn is in good hands. We've got to do something about the Dream Scourge. It's worse every day. One of our neighbors wasn't himself, and we can't afford to lose anyone. We need people who will fight back. People like Kai, and my uncle Keipo.
Me? You don't know what you're saying. Believe me. But Keipo, he's the real deal. That old salt's a monster slayer.
That Leviathan hanging over the market? That was his work. Exactly! Uncle Keipo's the greatest warrior Thirdborn's ever seen. But, well, Thirdborn hasn't seen the Keipo I know in a long time. I've tried everything to convince him to get out of the house. He may be old now, but we can still use his experience. If Thirdborn could see him up on those walls, they'd all follow him. I hate to impose, but would you pay him a visit? He lives on the northeast side of town. He's tired of hearing from me. Maybe one hero to another, you know?
If you need something, get over here and talk to me.
Oh, let me guess. My Nikai sent you. That kid's been muttering about sending some new hero by.
Old man Keipo. Glad to see you're still kicking around.
Kai, what rock have you been hiding under? Those scales are looking rougher since I last saw you.
Your eyesight finally going? But we didn't come here to talk about my handsome mug. That Nikai of yours still getting underfoot, I take it?
Ah, like a cannonball in a rolling deck, that kid. Damn child won't stop hovering over me. They keep trying to send so-called heroes over to cheer me up, but there's not much point these days. Back when Thirdborn was no more than a husk on the cliffside, we had real heroes. I've slain 1,000 Zorops, wrestled rock beetles, even slew the Leviathan. Ah, let me tell you. I had but a few harpoons and a single boat that morning. It had taken days to track the creature. My food and water were running out. When I found it, the beast heaved itself up from the water and crashed down onto me. And there, I thrust a harpoon deep into its belly and killed it. Oh, it took days to tow its body back on the flotsam of my boat.
I admit, I'm impressed with how he handles his harpoons.
Ah, well, those days are long past. I'm a sick old man now. Not much I can do in Thirdborn anymore. Still, maybe Chico was onto something when they sent you. You're the one who cleared the dream thralls at the gates, aren't you? Ah, good to know someone is looking out for Thirdborn at least. I tell you what. This old man would like to ask a boon of you. One hero to another. I promise it'll be worth your while. I want to see my heart one last time. Will you get it for me? A Leviathan heart is a rare thing. When left out in the air, it becomes as hard as Adra, and 100 times as valuable. And I had the only one in the living lands. I couldn't just leave it on my kitchen table now, could I? No, I kept it safe, hidden up in the godless ruin along the coast. But now, I'm dying. I can feel it in my bones. I don't have long, and I'd like to see my treasure one more time. Get it for me, and I'll see you get a reward. Beyond that, well, I left that old ruin with a few tricks for would-be thieves. Step carefully.
Still all brine. Wouldn't have him any other way.
Good luck, godlike.
It's him!
Oh, Envoy! Over here. Envoy, it's so good to see you alive and well. Peaceful. Like when we first made our way to Paradise so many years ago. We've settled in nicely and are starting to feel at home here.
Peaceful's an interesting word to use, love. The dream thralls are exceedingly aggressive out here.
Yes, well, the guards have been handling them just fine. I'll take it for now. How about you, Envoy? How have the living lands been treating you?
Well, that's what we like to hear. Isn't that right, love?
That it is. We might even have something to help you with your journey. Whoever lived here last must have left this armor behind. As beautiful as it is, Glaedwine and I have no need of it. We'd like for you to have it.
Oh no, thank you, Envoy, for everything.
Be safe out there, friend.
must have done 100 shifts on those watchtowers. Never saw so much Thirdborn blood under them.
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. When the mood is right, I find I like everything. I'm going to write Quilici tonight. Make sure he misses me. But, as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? Well, because I'm the foremost expert on the godless, of course. So I must study their artifacts when I can. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. Technically, yes. Well, it set me on the path, at least. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. That was my assumption as well. Barrett's balls. It's nice to know I won't have to dumb things down with you. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams. Usually I enjoy a bit of pain, but this was a bit too much. I wouldn't recommend it. As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go? Oh, Envoy, might I steal a moment of your time? We need to discuss what happened in Emerald Stair, don't you think? Look, I lost more research than I'd like to count. But Fiora and its people are safe. That's what matters. Thank you, Envoy. I don't know how you managed it, but whatever you did, you averted disaster. That being said, your ambassador is going to get an earful, and possibly a fistful, next time we're in Paradise. Envoy, you'll find that I'm unreasonable from time to time, so hush. At least we were able to get everyone to safety. I don't know how things are in Paradise, but at least no one's tried to set it to the torch recently. I mean, I assume. Long enough that I trust her to do her best by everyone. You see, Emerald Stair has Naku Tedek. For a young and aspiring godless scholar, it was a godsend, if you'll forgive the pun. And, as a young at heart godless scholar, I've traveled outside the stair to other ruins. That's how I met Temerti. Thirdborn's close to Naku Kubel. A girl's gotta eat sometime. Who says I did? I still go out often. I've catalogued many ruins, but there are always more. And coming home to a warm welcome is lovely. You should try it sometime, darling. Oh, part of it is my sparkling personality, of course. But a larger part of it is time. It's hard to hate someone when they drop by your lab with lunch after you've forgotten to eat again. It's so much easier to do when you're younger. Now I enjoy eating and watching Quilici cook far too much. My mother always said that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. Quilici and I got together the old-fashioned way, though. I saw a beautiful man across a smoky tavern. Then I dazzled him with my delightful personality. Then he showed me an abandoned ruin outside of town, and I was hooked.
Are you joking? He's my mentor. Not to mention 1,000 years old.
Oh, no. They're both handsome humans, of course. But Giada is like family to both Quilici and me. He taught her a lot of what he knows. She spent days in our home. Literal 26-hour days. It's hard to believe that things have changed so much recently. Any sense of safety just went poof. It makes you wonder how everything will turn out. At least Quilici is with them. So I know someone competent is there. Thank you, Envoy. I feel a little less frazzled. I've got a lot to think on. Talk to you soon? Try not to have too much fun without me. How can I help, darling? We've been traveling together for a little while. I just have to know. Did you purposefully choose such colorful company, or is that just what you attract naturally? I mean, I'm very clearly a delight, so it's obvious why you let me stick around. I'd seen Kai around once or twice, and always thought he was charming enough. He's got a sharp tongue, though. Makes me like him even more. And Marius. I don't know what's lurking in him, but I do think he should speak to someone on it. If he reaches out, do try, will you? As for Giada, well, clearly Giada is a gem. As for me, well, I'm just as riveting as you, but the boys are giving me a run for my money. It is a lovely little perk, isn't it? But so is the ability to actually talk to any you meet. Don't discount it. You do strike me as a people person. Tell me, do you get along with all you meet? So, you'll be swarmed by well-wishers then, upon arriving home? And some very angry spouses, I imagine. And here I thought I had a wild youth exploring ruins. You might be putting me to shame, dearie. Why do you think Quilici and I went to Naku Tedek in the first place? Of course, other lovers were less willing. Something about them being gross and terrifying. I just think it adds to the excitement. Well, you've satisfied my curiosity. You know, Envoy, we've traveled enough that I think I've gotten a handle on your style. Style of fighting, I mean. Your fashion sense is more opaque. But listening to your incantations, they could use some tightening up. I could probably teach you a thing or two, if you're up for it. What do you say? about I show you a little bit of everything? What? Out of breath already? Talk to one of the boys. See if they can help with your stamina, dear. Well, I've taught you all I can. Let's hope you put it to good use. Have you been to every part of the Living Lands by now, Marius?
Probably.
Does that mean you've seen a real live Valor?
More than one.
I'm starting to think they're a myth. You're the only one I've met who's ever seen one.
I know plenty of people who have seen About Rock. Maybe you just need more friends.
Oh, really? Oh, and... of your friends who have definitely seen Balrog's in the room with us now.
Okay, I need to get some sleep.
You're far too much fun to tease, darling.
I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse places to do it. I probably know a lot about this place that you don't. It's rough, but it's very survivable. Yatzli's got you going in all sorts of abandoned ruins. Who knows what's down there? More questions, most likely. And spiders. Nothing, I'm fine. Forget I said anything. I just want to make sure we've covered all the options before we dive headfirst into another deadly ruin. No idea. I just wish I trusted Yatzli's research. Seems like a lot of danger for not much payout. I'm sure we'll be fine. I just hope this is all worth it. Anyway. Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatzli. I don't trust her any further than I could throw her, which honestly isn't that far. She actually goes down into these ruins on purpose, just to see what's down there, I guess? And now she's trying to lead us to the garden. Might as well be searching for Wael's wacky wagon of mysteries. Nah, I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but what if she doesn't? Pleasant dreams.
You have an inquisitive mind. I respect that. If you ever feel your education is missing something, I'd be happy to teach you what I know. All you have to do is ask. Excellent. The Imperial Court taught you well, but I suspect there were gaps in what they call an education. If there's anything you've been dying to learn from an Animancer, now is the time. Very well. Hold your questions to the end if you don't mind. Otherwise, I'll lose my train of thought. Now, let's begin. You, drifted off for a moment. Were you paying attention? Really? What's the last thing I said? Oh, I stand corrected. Even if you had dozed off, no harm done. Besides, a little nap is good for the soul. I slept through my share of lectures, and look how I turned out. That's all I have to teach you for now. I'll chime in if anything else comes to mind. Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Of course, she's brilliant, open to anything, and sees the world as she wants it to be. Yatzli gave me my first glass of wine, and the courage to approach a special someone. We have a lot of catching up to do. No one to get jealous over. To call it a relationship would be an insult to the word. But it was fun while it lasted. Animancy is the study of life. Unfortunately, we get so busy that we forget to live. So a little roll in the hay is good for the soul. Yatzli taught me that. Well, not the part about rolling in the hay. That was my idea, and I don't recommend it. Indeed, old friends. When they died, Yatzli protected me. Made sure I had one consistent person in my life. I think that's why she gave me that glass of wine. Why she encouraged me to live my life to the fullest. She was making sure I hit all the milestones I could have missed. Now that she's traveling with us, maybe she can teach you a thing or two. I think that covers everyone. And if my good opinion changes, you'll be the first to hear about it. Until next time.
Look at those stars. They always seem brighter out here. I'd never met Naoki. Asui arrived a few months before I left Thirdborn. I knew their squad mates better. Uriki was a ship's carpenter with the Leviathan Navy years ago. Came from a military family, but she never saw much combat herself. Manu was a deckhand on a pirate ship. Stopped in Thirdborn with his crew to resupply and never left. I don't think piracy suited him. Kiri, he was a sweet kid. Born shipboard to a mercenary captain who left him here and never came back. For the longest, I thought that was for the best. Me too. Most of all, I'm sorry I wasn't here to better prepare them.
This wasn't your fault. They just weren't ready.
Because there weren't enough seasoned soldiers to train them. The Thirdborn's in dire straits if they're sending people like this out to patrol. I can take watch. I'll be up a while anyway.
You think those Adirans were onto something? Do you think they can really cure the Dream Scourge? I think it's worth a try, at least. I just hope we made the right decision. You took the words right out of my mouth, Envoy. Now that the researchers can research, think of what we'll learn. A cure might sound far-fetched, but what if they find treatments for the Dream Scourge? And even other ailments? Oh, I can't wait to see how far they've come when we see them again. Well, that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about? How can I help, darling? Well, I suppose you've earned that much. And I do enjoy rewarding tenacity. Though between your dreams and mine, it's a wonder anyone gets any sleep around here. You remember that I nearly burned my family home down when I was young? It was an accident, and I paid for it. My parents refused to buy me more spellbooks for years. Well, shortly after all that fuss, the dream began. It started at first with a fire, just flames crackling, and a feeling of safety. I thought it was a little weird, but nice. But then the dream kept coming back, night after night. I learned more every time. I saw that it was a fire in a hearth, and that hearth was in an old library. I assumed it was a library, at least, to explain why there were so many tablets lining the walls. A man after my own heart. In the library, there's just one person, but they're wearing a hood, so I never see their face. They do the same thing every night. They curl up in a chair by the fire, hold a tablet to their chest, and then the fear comes. The paralyzing, all-encompassing fear of something. Just the noise. A low, deep banging starts, and it rattles through your bones and shakes you to your core. And it replaces the beat of your heart with this droning on and on and on until you forget every other sound you've ever heard.
A beat. Steel feet on the shore. They come by night.
And then, as it just gets louder and louder, and right before it gets there, I wake up.
You've been listening to too many of Giada's ghost stories.
And let me tell you, waking up in a cold sweat does nothing for my fur. How sibilant. No. Just that it's all-encompassing. It's strange. I've not told many of the details of my dream. I suppose I must like you quite a bit, Envoy. Don't let it inflate your ego too much. I suppose we should try and get some rest now. I'll have some tea ready for when we awaken later.
We're not getting in through there.
Keep quiet.
Never had a chance.
Throw up tent! Worth and rock!
Yatzli, well done. In retrospect, I should have seen that. Of engineering this place. Can't believe it's still standing.
Love to see someone else so active in their twilight years.
No way forward from here. Little power goes a long way. Let's finish. Couldn't have done it better. That was a close one. Looks like we weren't the only ones searching for the heart. This has to be a joke, right? No treasure is worth this much trouble. Better be worth it. Forgive me. I keep thinking of home. See that?
Would open the door. Well, who's ready to not believe any more signs?
There's our heart.
Everything but the treasure was trapped. How silly of me to assume otherwise. Here lies the boat of a legendary fish killer.
Thank Aethys. I thought you'd never come out of there. I've been waiting for ages. I'm fine. Uncle Keipo taught me everything I need to survive. It's why he's always so... No, I can't get distracted. This is too important. Listen to me. I came to find you as soon as I heard what my uncle asked you to do. I just wanted you to meet him, not go on one of his stupid escapades. What do you think? You have to put the heart back. Or take it away. Whatever you do, don't give it to him. No, it's not. Apparently, if you grind a fossilized Leviathan heart and mix it with wine, it becomes a poison. I found his notes on it. I think that's what he wants it for. My uncle's a hunter. A trapper. That's cold-blooded murder. He won't play Azatoa with me. He won't go out on walks with me anymore. He kept saying he didn't want to go out without being himself. I thought he meant leaving the house. You've got to put a stop to it. Any way you know how.
The wolf eats the hemlock. What suffering could be so great?
Then we've got to go back. Right now. I'll go find the Tiranui. He'll know what to do. If you can talk any sense into him, Just hurry. I'll be there when I can. I hope so. I'll see you soon.
Totem!
Well struck!
See you.
Thank you again. For everything.
Envoy? You get around, don't you?
Godlike. Ah, back already? Have you got the heart? Huh? You won't even let an old man ask how you like my designs. Fine then. Start talking. Damn that child to the depths! They were never supposed to know. I have the dream scourge. I'm starting to feel it in my bones. Small things. I've got shakes, tremors that weren't there before. But the worst are the dreams. Sand swallowing Thirdborn. A garden, vines eating at old ruins. People say the dream scourge is a soul plague. I'm no fool. It's in my head, eating away at me. I saw it at the gates of Thirdborn. People go mad. They kill their kin. I don't want to hurt Chico. I'd hoped to go out quietly, but my Nakai is smart. I didn't realize they'd uncovered my plan. I want to die as myself, on my own terms.
On the one hand, it isn't our place to decide how someone ought to live or die. On the other hand, the Leviathan's heart was never his to begin with. Finders keepers. At the end of the day, I think eating a Leviathan's heart is an impractical way to end one's life. To each their own.
I think Keipo has earned the right to make his own decisions before he no longer can.
You can understand that, can't you? Give me the heart. Give me this one act of courage. Thank you. Chico will mourn me, but you've saved my Nakai a greater pain than they know.
Prune the dying bud. Return to the wheel. Start again. We ponder.
Good luck. You'll need it. Here, take this. You'll have more use for it. This damned sickness is getting worse.
I know you just talked to my uncle. You didn't give him the heart, did you? But how could you? You know what he's going to do with it. You know what I do understand? That he'll die because of you.
Wait, there's Dream Scourge in town? That's a real problem. An actual, real, massive problem.
Not anymore. Not now that he's given Keipo the poison he needs to kill himself.
Shit. I have to tell Temerity.
Damn you. Everything was fine until you poked your nose into it. I hope the sands swallow you and you never come back to Thirdborn again!
We're an easy target for their pain. Leave them be, Envoy.
Not making that mistake again.
I wish we could have done more for them. Keipo and Chico, I mean. But if I were in his shoes, I hope I'd make the same choice. Though I'd like to pick a more fun way to die. Obviously, you've never heard the phrase drug-fueled sex heart attack. I can only hope that at the end I have some control over things. That I can go out as Yatzli. And don't you forget it. But it gives you something to think about. I mean, not everyone gets to come back like you did, Envoy. Well, that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about? How can I help, darling? Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akita, as they called themselves, were the original folks who lived in the Living Lands. They arrived on the shores of a new land and settled there, living with the land instead of trying to tame it. You sound certain. Well, that would align with my own findings. But how could you know that? Does that happen a lot? Well, sounds like fun. But dubious metaphysics notwithstanding, you corroborate my theory. The Godless are so singular. Their art and architecture, you never see it in Rawatai or Ishamatul or, well, Adir. But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing, seeking refuge, so they must have come from somewhere. My guess, they originally came from Yesua. Yes, well, a continent, cut off from the rest of the world, hidden by eternal storms. One of the 3 hubs of the Angwithan Empire. 10 years ago, you could say it wasn't real, that it was a dream. But they said the same of Ukaiso. Suddenly, the appearance of a mythical land doesn't seem so implausible. There was some kind of schism, an ideological one. From what I can glean, the Godless were staunchly against the gods, hence their name. There are even some not-so-kind murals of the gods. It seems like the Godless really took their anti-theism seriously. I know! Well, I think we've covered everything, don't you? Rather, as much as I think you'll withstand. Hope you enjoyed talking about this as much as I did, dearie. How can I help, darling? Always a pleasure, envoy.
Seeing Keipo like that was hard, envoy. He'd just given up, and we let him do it. It should have been Chico's too. Keipo owed them a proper goodbye, instead of just slipping away like that. Got lost in thought. Forget I said anything. My favorite subject. You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? You know, just when I was thinking our little group was getting too solemn and serious, we met her. Sometimes I think she lives in her ruins and grimoires rather than in the real world with the rest of us. But she keeps things interesting and keeps us on our toes. What's more, she's a good friend to Giada. And Giada's a good influence on her. I'm pretty sure Yatzli flirts with everybody. I don't read anything into it. Don't get me wrong, she's a striking woman, but she and Quilici have a good thing. I'd never get in the middle of something like that. Yeah, and both of those subjects fly way over my head. I prefer dealing with things I can see and make sense of. I just hope she keeps some part of herself grounded with the rest of us. She's brilliant, but I worry that the real-world consequences of the forces she plays with are academic to her. Maybe I shouldn't. Sure. Get some rest, envoy.
Need a break from the dream scourge? If I must.
I need to go hunting. I hope you like roasted snake. Right. What do you need? Right, Chin. You too.
Would you like some ice? some ice, darling?
I'm not drinking anything.
Well, I remember hearing an old wives' tale that when you're on the verge of panic, you hold some ice. It gives you something to focus on, apparently. I can magically whip up some for you if ever you need it.
Right. No thanks. I'm fine.
No need to bite my head off, darling. I'm only trying to help.
Gods, listen. I'm having a rough day and my porridge isn't sitting very well. Maybe I'll ask you for some ice later.
However I can be helpful.
Hey. Hey, you there! Sign says to take only what you need. Do they not have signs in Adir? Or wait, maybe you think they don't apply to you. You didn't? Gah, what am I saying? There's no way you could have known. You're obviously not from around here. I'll let it slide. This time. But you better not waste it, all right?
Warms my heart to see somebody keeping these wilds honest. I mean, trying, but still.
Right behind you.
Fighter on my side.
Who's ready for more?
You tear it apart!
Totem! Defend!
Tama's memorial. Never thought anything could contain that man, you know? That booming laugh, that bottomless appetite, boundless energy. Now he's under a pile of rocks. It doesn't, but I appreciate the effort. This is where you're supposed to distract me, lighten the mood with a wisecrack or something. Trying? I thought I was doing a pretty good job. There's something I didn't tell you about Tama's death. Remember how I noticed he'd lost his badge? I went out. I told him I was going to go find it. He told me to stay. I said I'd be right back. I couldn't stand it. As soon as I was out of there, I just walked. And I kept walking. You're right. I used to think it would fade over time. But guilt's like a fine wine. Now you know why I never went back to his house in Emerald Stair. Why I never came back to Thirdborn. I wouldn't know what to do with something that fancy sounding, even if you did. I just figured I owed you some honesty. The truth is, traveling with you and Marius, getting to know Giada, Yatzli, it's felt easy. Too easy. Don't get me wrong, it's been nice. But you're so clear-headed, so easy to follow, that I've been able to fall in line and back you up. But I'm not that guy, Envoy. I'm not a joiner. I'm good for a skirmish, some war stories, a few drinks, but I'm not someone you keep around. Oh, come on. You sniffed out the plot to raise Fjord and you stopped it. But me? I let people down. I let them down when they're counting on me most. Or maybe I learned plenty. I know what I am. I'm finally facing it. But he's not here, and that is because of me. I'm finally owning that. Of course I'm not. I'm finally being honest about this. Because if he was right, that just makes what I did worse. If I could relive that moment, I don't know that I'd do any better. Funny how something can be so simple, yet so hard. But you're right. One of the things I loved about Tama was how he gave us all a fresh start. No matter where we'd come from or what we'd done. I drifted to Paradise, but never thought about where I'd go from this. I came to the Living Lands running. From storms, from war, from all the things those forces of nature make out of you. Maybe I'm done running away. I don't know what that means I'm running towards, but I think I'm finally ready to figure it out. Once we've stopped the Dream Scourge and dealt with the Steel Garrote. One way to find out, isn't there? I've got some things to sort out, but it feels good to have something to look forward to.
I'm not used to quiet.
Sabotage!
Simple, easy. You're meant for this. I was talking to myself again, wasn't I? Sorry. don't know, do I? Maybe I'm just nervous. I had a dream about crossing the great sand sea, you see. Great dunes and shifting clouds. I had this feeling I'd come back changed. I'm not sure. I suppose I'll find out, won't I? I have to know what's out there. What a strange question. Of course not. There are no trees out there. Or maybe there are. Huh. Bad habit. Suppose I was. I told you, I'll be fine. It's not like I'm the first one to make the trip. I should get going. As soon as I remember which way that is. All right. I think that's everything. Found the map? Good luck with it. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Maybe it'll speak to you.
Wouldn't want to end up like that.
Fabric. We still have stock.
Don't forget your friend Daiko and his completely legal package that you said you'd pick up. Welcome back. How can I help? That's how you tell someone their twin brother is dead? What is wrong with you? Gods, poor Aiko. I can't believe he's dead. How can you even ask that? Obviously, it's equally horrible.
I used to think your worst quality was a lack of good sense.
We saw some dream thralls outside of town and realized that they had mushrooms on their faces. We've previously dabbled in such things, so we thought that maybe something good could come of this affliction. And in these trying times, don't we all deserve a bit of reasonably priced happiness? I definitely would have warned people after they made their purchases. As a humble merchant, I was a little more reticent to go out and acquire base materials. Eiko was more suited to the rough and tumble aspects than me anyway. Of course, once those materials were acquired, Eiko wrongly decided I hadn't done enough to deserve a share in the profits. I assume Eiko found some dream thralls out in the wild and brought them back to camp. Next, our friend Kauka would have harvested the mushrooms. She was way too into the idea. If I give you too many details, you're going to be sick, trust me.
Reap, harvest their own? What did they do to deserve this?
How did my brother die? Please stop talking. I feel like Eiko would have wanted me to still work with these, right? Wait, did you open this? Did you try them? Well, if you're going to take the merchandise, the least you can do is tell me what happened. Wait, really? Are you sure?
I've eaten moldy hardtack that gave me more of a thrill.
Great. I've got a dead brother and no merchandise to show for it. Thank you for your help, I guess. I've got to go plan funeral rites for Eiko. Please go away. Oh, and, take this. It's the least I could do. Oh, hey, be sure to check out our new bereavement sale. Get discounts on qualifying items.
Oh, you're back. What do you want? Okay, what?
Oh, hey, Envoy. Be sure to check out our new bereavements. Welcome back. How can I help?
Who needs fabric? We still have stock. Oh, you're back. What can I do for you? We still have various linens and silks in stock.
Have you heard? They say Fjord nearly burned to the ground.
God's goodness. Things just keep going from bad to worse.
Oh, hey, Envoy. Be sure to check out our new bereavement sale.
I've got the freshest fish guaranteed. Got a hankering for something?